So this is another directing part. Today I'll be talking about C5 in the chrysalis. Scene 5, I mean. And basically this scene is, at the start, is where David and Sophie are have like bonded now and are quite good friends, and we directed it as with their laying next to each other as like the nice, like having a nice conversation in the forest. And basically, yeah, it's basically a nice duologue with these two characters, like a nice friendly relationship. And then uh, Sophie says, let's go swimming. And so they jump up, take off the shoes, and Sophie has a really nice, like a really nice, what's the word? Really nice lines. Uh, Basically saying, I'll read out to you. Um, how do things begin? The river begins somewhere. Who was the first person to say purity is the true image of God? And who were the first people to believe in them? And basically, that was a really good line in the Chrysalis, I really thought when I first read it. Because it's like basically saying who made this up, who made that the the pure people were the images that God wanted them to be. Like, who made that up? Because before this scene with them two, you know that Sophie has six toes, and she was basically hiding that from people, and yeah, and yeah, that's basically it. That little saying, and then basically after that bit, Alan comes in, which at the start when we first directed this, it was we made Alan, which was Mark in the actual thing, quite quite too funny. We wanted him to be funny at the start when he was like, "Oh, what's this about?" That like a little like jolly like, "Hey, watch this," you bit of a like a ha ha ha. But then there was this serious part where he just like tells David just like, no, get lost. I don't want, what's wrong with Sophie? Like in a really angry and really threatening way. And at the start, it didn't work out because the person who was acting Alan was quite small, and the person who was acting David was really big. So when we first directed it as him getting pushed down, would look really funny, and we didn't really want that. So afterwards of rethinking it, we gave him a prop, which was a knife, which really like juxtaposed the like haha banter kind of thing into like this really serious thing, like instinct with the flick of the knife. Which after like when we first kept like rehearsing it, it worked really well. The person who acted Alan was really good at that bit, and basically at the end he's trying to go up to Sophie because he knows that something's wrong with Sophie, like something's weird. So he's going to check up on her, and then then David interrupts, pulls him, knife out, and then he's like, "Oh, what's this about? What is going on here?" Sorry about that accent. And then Sophie goes up behind him and hits him with a rock, which knocks him out because he knew that something was up. So then it's really like panicky kind of thing with David and Sophie, and they decide to go to Sophie's house and tell her mum, which is Mary. So the scene switch changes, like basically as the transition we made made them run together, hooked arms span around, then ran back into the scene, and then Mary came in. That's how we transitioned it. Because with all this, for the whole of this play, really, there's so much transitions. Even that's one scene, but it's still like two different parts of a scene, two different areas. So it's really hard to like keep transitioning them. And because we've really had 12 scenes to do transition, so then it was always in different places, so it was really difficult to transition. But however, basically at the end of this, is saying that Mary and Sophie have to run away. They have to go before the pure people kick them out or hurt them or damage them, whatever like that. So basically, Sophie's saying goodbye to David, and it's very like, oh, well, yeah, something like that. And then when Sophie and Mary leave, basically David stays there in front of in the middle of the stage, and this blue light hits, and basically the blue light is symbolizing telekinesis. So when the blue light hits, people know that there's voices in someone's head, and it was kind of hard to direct that because it's like you can't really like direct someone talking through the head. It's impossible. So that's how we did it. So basically, Petra was off stage and she was saying this stuff, and the blue light came on, and then so that's how David could hear through his head. And basically, Petra's saying David, like just keep asking for David and keep calling his name, and then like she says it like 5 times, and then David like really freaks out because the line's basically stop it, it's too loud, Petra, stop it. And that's the last line of the thing, so he's really panicking and it's really hurting him when he's doing this. So that was and then the scene ended there a bit, which leads us to scene 6, but that's for another vlog, so